Oh, it's starting to look like a tractor. Put my tin on, my gas tank. The little gas tank, I have a hose coming down and I just have a bolt in it. I'm not using that. I'm just using the one gas tank. I've come up with a pretty good idea here. I don't like the hose, but what are you going to do? Maybe I'll get a solid line here. I've got my bowl, but it's I don't know. They're just cheap. And when you go to shut it off, they don't shut off all the way, and they fill your carburetor up with gas, and if your carburetor's got any problems with it, it takes 18 gallons of gas and puts it into your crankcase. So I put a shut off here, and it works. It really shuts it off. I do have a piece of hose here I don't like, but it's what it is. I also like these clamps. You can find these at your Napa. They're better than the hose clamps, the little hose clamps. They're kind of a fuel injection clamp, kind of nicer. I've got a metal line here that's so I don't have a rubber hose next to the exhaust the exhaust intake manifold. It's a better setup. So I have my fuel in there. There's my line with my bolt stuffed in there just for my other tank. The other tank works. I cleaned it all out and treated it with the plastic stuff, but you know, got our battery in here, got our switch hooked up. Turn it on and it shows volts, and got a dash light and both headlights. I got a tail light back there too. So nothing caught on fire when I did that, so I guess I have it wired up right. I used a couple of, it's kind of getting dark out, so I'm going to lose my light. I got a couple of, let's see if you can see that. I got a couple of pads, felt pads underneath the battery clamps, and I soaked them in this battery cleaner stuff, and I'm doing my second application. You want 2 applications of this stuff, battery terminal cleaner or protection. It's hard to get at your battery, so but the only thing you can do is charge it, you know, with all, you have to take the tin off. I took my wiring harness and I've got it kind of spot tied up here, along with my temperature gauge deal. This was kind of close to a ground, which is the shut-off switch for the magneto, so a ground switch for the magneto, so I kind of moved that a little bit, looked at that. Let's see what else I did. Run my wires to my alternator. Got the original tube, part of it, and then it's clamped up here. The rest of it's just that quick edge stuff, and I've got it stuck up there, kind of a deal. Oh, I got to put my battery clamp down. I got a clamp that clamps the battery down. Got to do that next. You don't want your battery dancing around. Well, I know what I did. Sometimes your throttle is hard to, you know, you grease it or you oil it and it loses all its friction. So what you have to do is you have to loosen that little nut up and take this off. It'll rock off and it'll have it's quite neat actually. It's not just on the top there, it's a little pocket kind of a deal. It fits in there. And then examine this, and there's a ledge that little the end of the throttle piece fits on. You can put a screwdriver up underneath it and push up, and it'll load up the spring, and then you tap that down a little farther and set the screw, and what that spring does is it loads up that so it'll stay in position. It's kind of neat actually. It's quite interesting how they built this tractor. You know, you think about it, it's really archaic, but it's got a lot of neat features on it that that are just so useful. Rock shafts, operating rock shafts, hydraulic rock shafts, implement nuts, turning brakes, highway gear, electric start lights, dual fuel. Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, you think about it. It's like it was built to be on a farm or something. Oh, I aired up my tires too. I put 35 in the front and I put 16 in the rear. The rears had 2 and the fronts had 5. So yeah, that'll help. And then, okay, our next deal is going to be our steering wheel. And what you have to do is you have to shove the rod, up through there. I'm probably going to dig all that grease out of there and repack it with some fresh stuff if I have. I think this is that stuff that my father had in the 1-gallon can, the real fibrous Quaker State black stuff, kind of like roofing tar. No, I'm just joking. My brother will get that joke. Anyways, here it is. It's starting to look like a tractor, and hopefully I'll have her done tonight and I can move it out of here and clean up a little bit.